Before assembling the machine, please organize all components. We have prepared all types of fasteners, and each step is accompanied by a diagram of the components for assembly. You can quickly assemble the machine by following the steps below. Step 1. Connect the rotating upright assembly to the gantry assembly using hex socket cap screws, spring washers, flat washers, and hex lock nuts. Connect the rotating stand assembly with the gantry assembly using hexagon socket head cap screws, spring washers, and flat washers on the side. Connect the rotating upright assembly to the seat frame assembly using hex socket cap screws, spring washers, flat washers, and hex lock nuts. Once all bolts are aligned with the threaded holes, adjust the machine to level, and then tighten each bolt individually. Step 2. Pass the wire rope disc fixing shaft assembly through the bearing sleeve of the rotating upright assembly at the other end. Fit the round head common key onto the shaft of the wire rope disc fixing shaft assembly. Ensure the buffer pad of the cam disc fixing assembly stops at the lower part of the square tube of the rotating upright assembly with the adjustment fin facing upwards. Align the cam with the holes of the cam disc fixing assembly as shown in the diagram. Then remove the wire rope assembly from the gantry assembly and thread the end of the wire rope through the cam groove, securing it with the cable head fixing block. Secure the cam to the cam disc fixing assembly using hex socket button head bolts, flat washers, and spring washers, tightening them. Attach the end cap plate using large washers, hex socket button head bolts, flat washers, and spring washers. Step 3. Insert the leg swing tube assembly onto the shaft end of the wire rope disc fixing shaft assembly, securing it with the bearing retainer, flat washer, spring washer, and hex socket button head bolt. First, install the limiting ring onto the kicking foam tube assembly, and then thread the assembled kicking foam tube assembly onto the foot swivel tube assembly. Align it with the bearing hole positions. Pass an axle through and secure both ends with a large washer, a flat washer, a spring washer, and a hexagon socket button head cap screw with rounded head. Step 4. Insert the leg kick foam assembly into the leg kick foam tube assembly, securing it with compression washers, spring washers, and hex socket button head bolts. Then install the plastic outer retaining ring onto the leg kick foam assembly. Install the weight stack onto the leg swing tube assembly, ensuring the direction of the weight stack aligns with the holes. Secure it using hex socket button head bolts, spring washers, and flat washers. Step 5. Attach the seat cushion assembly to the seat frame assembly using hex socket button head bolts, spring washers, and flat washers. Install the backrest assembly onto the backrest support tube assembly using hex socket button head bolts, spring washers, and flat washers. Monthly. Check all assembly bolts and tighten them again. If the product walls, adjust its position or the height of the foot pads. Weekly. Inspect each rotating part to ensure they move smoothly without noise. Ensure the wire rope is tight and the counterweight is not hanging when stationary. Test the pin component for proper function and tighten if necessary. Apply silicone oil to the sliding rod and rotating parts. Use the product normally to ensure all functions are working. Daily. Inspect the wire rope, pulleys, counterweights, and other stress parts for wear or damage. Make sure the wire rope stays on track. Check whether the wire rope is derailed. Check whether the wire rope is loose. Check the product surface for peeling paint, aging leather, softening, label peeling, or surface damage. Replace as needed. Wipe the product surface with a water-based conditioner like Pledge. Loosen all bolts connecting the gantry and main frame. Remove the upper cover. Unscrew the 4M5*15 screws. Disconnect the circuit board wiring. Remove the front and rear panels. Unscrew the 4M6*12 bolts from the upper support plate. Loosen the M8*10 screw on the fixed sleeve of the sliding rod. Remove the fixed sleeve, and then sequentially remove the weight stacks. Unscrew the 4M8 nuts and 4ST4.2*15 screws, securing the left and right covers. Unscrew the 12ST4.2*15 screws. Lift the gantry and replace the lower cover. Secure the lower cover with 12ST4.2*15 screws. Install the left and right covers, then tighten the 4M8 nuts and 4ST4.2*15 screws. Reinstall the fixed sleeve on the sliding rod and secure the sliding rod. Remove the fixed sleeve from the sliding rod and sequentially reinstall. Tighten the M8*10 screw on the fixed sleeve of the sliding rod. Install the upper support plate and tighten the 4M6*12 bolts. Install the front and rear panels, ensuring the panel height aligns with the upper support plate. Tighten the 4M5*15 screws, securing the front and rear panels. Reassemble the circuit board wiring. Reinstall the upper cover. Tighten the bolts connecting the gantry and main frame.